everybody, and welcome to Project Talk, your favorite Sunday afternoon live stream where we talk about different projects and, well, who knows what else, because it always seems to go off the rails. If you don't know, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me is... Oh, wait, no, I don't have a James. Typically, James is here with me. He will be here. He's actually stuck in traffic. He said highway closure. So he will be here, but I'm going to give him props because he was actually the first one in the chat today, at least the first one that I saw. So he gets bragging rights for being first, but I'm also going to give bragging rights to Bryce because he's actually the first one that's in the list currently showing to me. But Alan Osborne is also here. Ollie is here. Builder's Mark, Alan King, and Clint. We have a very small viewing. We'll give a few minutes for everybody to get in here before we give the prizes away. No, I'm just kidding. There's no prizes. There's Michael Cassell sneaking in. Welcome, everybody. So, so much. I feel like we haven't done these streams in like, well, forever, but it's only been, we skipped last week and then we were here the week before. Peg Leg Paul says, oh no, my father on a stream by himself. This will go off the rails faster than normal. Well, of course, because I have to have both sides of the conversation, which is typically my life anyway. So I don't even know where to start. Today is September 11th, which I know that like pretty much worldwide, everybody understands that, but it is very, very important here in the United States that we don't ever forget September 11th. So I'm doing red, white, and blue as my background. So yeah, that's, and then of course the thumbnail, if you guys caught the thumbnail, that was also a tribute. Next week's thumbnails will go back to being fun and creepy. I got a great one picked out that my son will appreciate a lot. So, Bob Carn says, when do they install Rails? Well, they keep trying to put Rails on me and it just doesn't ever seem to stick. So, so I hope that those of you who had a holiday weekend last week had a good weekend. I almost reached out to James and asked him if he wanted to stream on Monday night. Because like we were out of town, but we were back on Sunday. We probably could have done the stream on Sunday, but I was utterly exhausted. And then I don't think James was home either. But Monday would have been fun. I just feel like it had been so long. I mean, I missed you guys. So I hadn't been in this seat in a while. So, but I don't know how long of a delay it'll be before James gets here. He didn't really say. He just says, good chance we'll be late. No different than any other week. So I did notice today, StreamYard gives me a little countdown. Counts down by the seconds, right down to the seconds of when you're supposed to start your stream based on when you scheduled it. And that is that is what I go by. And what I realized today, because I had both the StreamYard window and the YouTube window open, is because of the delay on YouTube. That's why you guys think we're late all the time. We actually start on time every week. But sometimes the delay is up to like 4 or 5 minutes. No, but seriously, by the time that 30-second countdown was done, it still had not caught up on YouTube. So I think I might have to change that to a 60-second counter, and then it'll give it time to actually catch up. So Mark said 2 hours later. Yeah, it could be, but we'll see. It would not be the first time that I've done a stream by myself. I'm fairly good at talking. So, yeah, I know that old Peg Leg Paul there had said something about coming on today, and if that's still true, if you still want to, drop me a message through the Twitters and I'll send you a link. It's the easiest way. Mark said, got any Lego or filament box or printer to work on? Or I have a printer to work on. I'm just not ready for it yet. I still got to run dedicated power in for that beast. And because this area is fairly small, and when I built it, I didn't, like, the outlets are clumped together circuit wise, so I need to get some dedicated power for that thing. But wire prices are still outrageous. I do have my Lego going on still. I don't touch it unless I'm out here on stream, so it's still in the same condition where it was, and I am on bag number 6. Mark said, I'm enjoying the Funman's videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody watching. I was going to wait for James to get here for this news. And maybe I will. There's still only 8 watching. We'll talk about it in just a short bit. I have seen the new Ivan Miranda printer. So there's actually a couple people that are building like really big printers right now. Once you do something cool, everybody wants to do it. My problem is I just don't follow through with projects. I should have never printed on that thing until it was 100% done. And then I would have carried on further than I did. So I did get my tickets for Orlando Maker Faire, but now I'm having second thoughts, thinking that maybe I should exhibit. I don't know. I'm still kicking it around. I don't have the excuse of the truck being down this year, so it's not a printer. It's an Ivan elevator that also prints. But yeah, I don't know. It might be fun to exhibit, but being that, I mean, it's not new, but the people who are coming to the show might be new and may not have seen it. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But so today, and I don't see them in here yet, but today's topic, which is setting up a new shop. What tools do you choose? Like, what do you put on your priority list for tools for a shop, regardless of what kind of shop, whether it's an automotive shop or a wood shop or whatever. And it was that question came about because of Mitch 3D. He is getting his shop set up and had asked that question on Twitter, and it made a lot of sense to me that's a good topic to have. And of course, the answers to that question are really going to come based on what you're going to do, right? I mean, if you're a guy you're building coffee tables out of 2x4s, you don't need a welder. Well, you might. I don't know. So we'll definitely Tools Harbor Freight is having a sale, and here's my affiliate link. No, I'm kidding. And then Nightbot pops in with the apparel. Yes, but no. So I do want to talk about that today as well, because there was some good suggestions I came across on the Twitter, but like thinking about it, and it's funny because the tool that I actually recommended to Mitch, I don't even currently own. I've had access to one a couple of times, and I lost him in the divorce twice. So not really, but hey, James is here. Poopy, look at that! It's James.
Is it? Is it really?
Is your audio working?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? No, I'm totally screwing with you. I can hear you.
I wasn't worried.
They all said that you weren't going to get here for 2 hours.
Oh, and I made it in 1 hour and 58 minutes. Look at that. This is James signing off.
I only had to talk to myself for 10 minutes. That was fine.
I mean, that's like less than you do in a regular day.
That is true. I talk to myself constantly.
Sometimes that's the only way to get an intelligent conversation going.
I'm the best conversationist there is. And it's so funny because I talk to myself a lot in the garage, and like, let's talk about pre YouTube. I would talk to myself, and like one of the neighbors would be over, and I'd still be talking to myself, and they're like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Nothing, talking to myself." So it's perfect now because now I can just say, "Oh, I was talking to the camera."
I
Tom Lama
logged
said,
on.
"Nope, we can't hear you. Please ask again."
I didn't bother to take the time to clean off my desk before going live. I figured I'd clean while we were chatting and stuff.
Yeah,
like
we
that,
can't see your desk anyway.
It's true. You just see my hands doing random things well below camera height.
You could be building Lego.
I mean, that's where I thought the joke was going to go, but you know, that's probably better for a family-friendly show.
Mark said, "Talking in the garage." No, that's swearing and throwing tools. They're hearing. I'll tell you, Mark. Yesterday, I was working on the Nissan. I don't want to give too much away because it is going to come out in a video, but I'm chasing a belt squeal on that thing. Oh no.
Screamier?
Oh, it's intense.
And is it constant, or is that why it's being harder to chase down?
Well, it used to not be so constant, and now it's pretty much, it's just game on. I know what it is. I know what it is now. After some diagnostics, I thought it was the alternator. I thought the alternator was locking up.
But then you came up with an alternate solution?
Well, the thing was I was watching the voltage, and when the belt would squeal, the voltage would drop. So I thought, well, that makes sense to me. So I pulled the alternator out. Let me tell you, and multiple times in the video, I said there is a special place in hell for automotive engineers. That's all there is to it. They don't care. They don't care. It's all about making the car easy to assemble on the assembly line, and they don't care about the repair.
I would probably agree with that. That stands to reason. That's how they feel about it.
There's fasteners that are directly in line with the frame rail, and it's only like, you can't even get a shallow socket on there. You got to do everything by wrench.
Oh, so it's a lot of.
Yeah, well, it gets even better because it's a nut on a captured bolt, but the tab on the captured bolt has about a quarter turn worth of swing that it can do. So then as you turn it and you go to turn it back, like with a ratcheting wrench, it doesn't. It just swings the whole bolt. Yesterday was almost a tool throwing day. So, but it turns out the alternator wasn't bad. I took it down and had the local guys test it, which that was fun. I really wish that I had unlimited money so I could just
replace parts until you hit the right one.
No, because I refuse to do that. I'd just buy a new car, I guess, if I had unlimited money. But no, I would like to buy the tool to test the alternator myself so that I don't have to deal with the Nimrods down the road.
But that comes up so infrequently that it's like, it's not a worthwhile investment.
Dealing with the Nimrods or testing the alternators?
Both? Because I think you'd have to buy a bunch of different tools to avoid the Nimrods completely.
Oh, well, I do a fairly good job of staying out of there. I mean, I order all my parts online. Oh, and let's touch on the
Amazon or eBay's.
Well, Amazon and Rock Auto. I'm a fan of the Rock Auto, though it takes a little while for the parts to get here, and they use that horrifying FedEx. But
you're fed up with FedEx?
Oh my God, I really wish that company would go bankrupt, and they're probably well on the way to that. But
you think that, but you still have stuff that you have to order through them, so somebody's keeping them alive.
Well, the thing is, right, because there's I will not ship anything FedEx. I absolutely refuse to do it. I will pay more. Like, when the companies give you an option of, how to have the stuff shipped, I will pay more to go UPS.
Or UPS for short.
Right. But sometimes companies like Rock Auto, you don't have a choice. some of the smaller stuff you can get sent USPS, but no, it went downhill when Tom Hanks worked for them. Brilliant.
Tom Hanks.
Thank you, Alan. That was absolutely brilliant.
I must be missing a joke.
From the movie not Terminal. Where he's stuck on the island.
Oh, that was
with Wilson.
Castaway.
Castaway. There you go.
I don't remember watching the whole movie, to be honest.
Because he worked for FedEx. I always said that if I ever get on a plane and Tom Hanks is on the plane, I'm going to go and meet him. I'm going to tell him how much I appreciate his work, and then I'm getting the hell off the plane. That guy, I'm not traveling with that guy at all. And not just because of Castaway. I mean, Terminal, Castaway.
You shouldn't go on a boat with him either.
Nope. Yeah, what is that? Captain John Smith.
I don't remember. I just remember I am the captain now.
Yeah, I'm the captain now. Even Toy Story. I mean, the guy can't ride in a car.
I wouldn't go to infinity and beyond with that guy.
But regardless, I digress a little bit there. And
regardless or irregardless?
No, it's not irregardless. Did I say irregardless?
No, you said regardless.
Regardless,
I was just thinking Jackass.
So I don't want to give too much away, but it's the air conditioning compressor.
So you don't need air conditioning?
When the oh my God, as hot as it is here. Yeah, I need it all winter. When the alternator tested good, and I asked the guy, I said, this machine, what kind of amperage load does it put on it for testing? And he goes, 15 volts. And I kind of dead stared him and I said, what kind of amperage load? And he goes, oh, it goes all the way to 15 volts. And I'm like, okay, just give me back my alternator, but so I had him look in the computer and I said, the only other thing it can be, because there's only two things that run on that belt other than the crankshaft, and it's not the crankshaft that's freezing up.
Yeah, leave my crankshaft out of this.
Yeah, well, it would be way more obvious if it was the crankshaft.
Yep.
So I said, what does a compressor cost for that car, out of curiosity? And he, on his keyboard, $500. $500. $215 at Rock Auto. I don't. How does that place stay in business? Who's paying $500 for a $200 air compressor? But anyway, so see, I told you guys this stream would go off the rails. I don't even know how we got on that subject, but yeah, that video will be upcoming. Mark made a comment earlier that he's enjoying the Fummins series, and I was going to spill the beans, and then I said, no, I'm going to wait till you get here, because there's some news with the Fummins. It's done. Oh wait, no, everybody already knows that. I mean, you guys do anyway. I sold some more parts from the Dodge yesterday, and I have officially made my money back on the Dodge.
No way.
Yeah.
I call BS.
I got that Cummins for free. I've sold enough parts from the Dodge to pay what I paid for the Dodge, including shipping to get it here.
But what about all the money you've made off the non-existent ad revenue on the Fummins videos?
Oh, I would have made millions had I been monetized. But that's the next chunk of news. Not that I'm monetized, not yet. But I hit 312 subscribers. 313, but I lost one today. 312 subscribers. And
I think something's been going on. I've had weird fluctuations over the past couple of days in subscribers on both my channels.
Do you notice that, like, if you lose one, like, all of a sudden you gain two at the same time?
Sometimes. Okay, so I have things that I can say about that. I have noticed things. I think YouTube has synchronization issues between their servers. So obviously there's not just one server accepting stuff, right? Like it's going to be.
Oh yeah, no, they only have one. It's just it's like
just
a Celeron.
it's the YouTube server. I have noticed that I will occasionally over the course of 30 seconds gain 2 subscribers, And if that happens within 2 days, I will lose a subscriber. But I can go a month without losing a subscriber at all. But every time there's a situation where in the course of 30 seconds, I get the double ping, because I usually have Social Blade running.
Right.
You're like bing, and then like within 30 seconds to a minute, I'm not exactly telling. Oh, there's another one. And they're so quick that as the graph shortens down, it almost looks like a straight line up. And I go, oh, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to lose. By tomorrow, I'll lose a subscriber. And sure enough, the next day it'll be. So I think what's happening is a request to subscribe is being sent, and it's hitting potentially multiple servers, or it's hitting the first one, and there's a delay for it processing. Right. So it gets shunted to another one, and then both commands finish. And then the next day when they're doing like their cleanup job that also potentially watches for like fake subscribers and stuff.
I wonder too if it's a synchronization between YouTube and Social Blade.
No, because usually what Social Blade sees is correct. So like I'll be at like 726 subscribers, and then it'll be like bing, bing, and it'll go up from 726 to 728. And then it'll drop on Social Blade. And the reason I think this is also an issue too is that sometimes I will, if I look at YouTube Studio on my phone, you can do the drop down to switch between channels, and it shows how many subscribers there are.
Right.
It'll say like, for example, yesterday it was saying like 728, but I'd go in and then on the screen it would say I only had 727, and the two numbers stayed out of sync for 2 days.
Wow.
And then finally lined up. So I think there's synchronization issues across there, and I think some of these unsubscribes that you think you get are not actually like somebody clicking the unsubscribe. And when I was investigating on my original channel, I started looking, and there's a thing where you can find out like how people unsubscribed, and there's like another section in there, and there's a bunch of ones in the other section. So it's like they didn't unsubscribe from the YouTube video, they didn't unsubscribe from your channel page. There's just an other section that blankets some other method of unsubscribing. And I think that covers the bots and stuff that get auto unsubscribed as YouTube irons them out. And I think also ones like this.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's my theory.
I've just noted, like, and it's not every time. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are unsubbing. I mean, not everybody can deal with this, but like all of a sudden I'll lose one, and then within 24 hours I gain two almost like immediately. Like it wasn't really an unsub, it was an an error, and it just cleaned it up later. But
yeah.
But the other thing with that 312 is I seen today that I have I've broken 500 hours of watch time.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that seems like excessive and amazing to me, and that number came from YouTube. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's funny when you share that information with most people, they're like, so?
You're like, you don't understand. I'm 1/8 of the way to being able to make pennies a video off of YouTube.
Right. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. You have to maintain 4,000 hours of watch time. That's
per year.
That's why these live streams are so important. It's the only thing keeping Funding 3D monetized right now. So,
I am happy to say that Print and Play is doing okay on its own thanks to all those Pico videos.
Fantastic. So, but I do want to clarify, because I was thinking about the Dodge being paid off. It's just the Dodge that's paid off, not the whole project. I'm still way underwater on the whole project.
So please keep watching, keep subscribing.
Yeah, at no point will that project be free. There's just not enough potential there. But there is quite a bit of parts still to be sold from the Dodge. The two things that helped the most was I got $1,600 for the transmission out of that truck, and I sold the cab bed for $1,000. So that was a huge chunk going back towards the price paid for it. And I probably, I mean, if I get what I expect to get for the parts that I have left over, I'll probably still bring in another $1,200 to $1,500. So drop in the bucket compared to what I pay. The whole project, full disclosure, I have about $18,500 invested, not counting what I've gotten back for the Dodge. So yeah, it'll never be a free project, until I make it huge on YouTube, and the money's just rolling in so fast I don't know how to count it quick enough.
You're gonna have to hire somebody to take care of that for you.
That's right. I'm looking to hire a social media manager. If you're good with Instagram and you want to do it for free, you get exposure.
I think we've had this talk before.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
So Scott Hack Monkey has joined us, and I'm glad that he has, because I want to give a shout out to Scott. I'm not going to tell you what he did, but he did me a solid. Good guy.
Was it a printed solid or a regular solid?
No, a regular solid.
Oh.
It wasn't a pooped solid either. Well,
I was gonna say, was it like a fecal solid?
But Scott also recently contracted the Ronas. So, Scott, I hope you are feeling better. So, I think Xander actually just had it too. So,
can you guys
I'm still
stop?
fine though.
I mean, you're something.
I mean, well, fine as far as not getting sick. We were at the hotel. We were at the resort last weekend with the church. And when I say the church, I mean the church. Like almost everybody was there. So there was a lot of people, plus strangers. I mean, it's a public hotel, but so I mean, I guess it's kind of lucky I didn't get sick, but.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't.
Mark said we don't need that kind of exposure. No. You see, like a lot of times people will be like, oh, you make music? Why don't you make me custom music for my videos? And you'll, in exchange, you'll get exposure.
That really do be the way they try to do it, though.
Yep, all too often. So, Scott said, upright and doing pretty good now. Ought to be clear to rejoin the world tomorrow. But now my daughter is down with it. Well, yeah, it's going to go through the house.
That is the way that works, unfortunately.
Yeah, I take like 2 times the amount of vitamins that I'm supposed to take every day. It's the only way that I can continue to operate. Otherwise, I'm lethargic by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't know if that's what's helping me to to stick with it. Tom said the problem with people is they're all people-y.
People are the worst. That is what I maintain.
Some of them are. So, all right, I'm going to step off camera for a minute because I have to prepare. I have another big piece of news.
You do you now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I need to alt tab so I can see what you're doing. Oh. Well, I guess I can show this off. I received a box of farts this week, shipped from my co-host. But in that box of farts was also this.
I swear you said a box of farts.
I did say a box of farts.
It was only one fart.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to show all the fancy details and stuff without. Oh, look at that! My knife almost matches your shirt.
Yeah, well, I'm not impressed with your knife because I already seen it.
Well, it's a cut above.
I didn't get to cut anything with it though because it doesn't have a final edge on it.
I mean,
it'll still kill a guy, no doubt.
Nope. No,
that's not good for a knife anyway. Cutting paper is actually very bad for the blade.
It's okay. It's paper towel.
That's even worse. Oh, let me see how mine does. Yep, pretty much the same. The pen is mightier than the sword.
The knife. The pen is mightier than the knife.
So my big news.
Your big news.
I got to eat at White Castle. 2 times.
Your poor family.
2 times. I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick at all.
Uh-huh.
Now, Xander and I were also able to do some filming at White Castle. Not inside, though. It was too crazy busy. But I got a couple of walking away shots.
Well, that's good because you're always looking for those.
Yeah, we've just decided we're going to carry the camera everywhere. But,
that makes sense.
The one that was in this week's video 2 days ago of me going down the escalator, that was actually in the hotel where we stayed. And then we got a couple, my poor toilet. I didn't get sick. I got a couple at White Castle, and there's one, and unfortunately, like, I don't know if the focus got bumped or what, but it didn't focus right. But I don't care. I'm gonna end up using it anyway. And after I use it, then I'll tell the story about it because because I almost didn't have the guts to do it, but there was like 40 people watching us. I tell you, I can do whatever I want to do in front of the camera. The camera is just a camera. But when there's live people watching you, it gets weird. So, do you poop like that normally? Oh, I wish.
Cleaned it right out.
But yeah, we went there on Friday night. Not too busy, not bad. And we had dinner, and then Saturday, Xander and I went back at lunchtime because we couldn't film Friday night because it was raining. So we went back at lunchtime, and he got a shirt too.
So you said he had a shirt too?
He got a shirt too.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought you said something else, which would also line up with two people that had a White Castle.
Oh, no, shirt. Yeah. But no, it was a decent weekend. I didn't spend very much time out in the pool. I was Saturday. I was a little bit exhausted. I mean, I'm always exhausted. It goes with the anemia. But I took a pretty decent nap Sunday afternoon. We splurged and got the 2 connecting rooms. So the kids had their own rooms. So they had a 2 double room, like 2 double bed room, and we had a king room. So it was nice because they had their own TV, and they were like, we could close the door. Yeah, it was nice. So, White Castle, when you enjoy the White Throne. I love White Castle. I'm gonna work on getting White Castle to sponsor these streams.
Okay.
Go to Taco Bell, you'll be cleaned out every day. It's funny because there's a Taco Bell right next to White Castle in Orlando. It's like it's White Castle and then the divided drive coming into the plaza and then Taco Bell. One for lunch, one for dinner.
So that big project that I've been working on is obviously not completed nearly as quickly. It is probably I'm probably going to show it during the stream today because I have a couple things I need to finish for it, and I have to. Like the only person pushing me to have this project done by this weekend this Friday is me, but I want to have it filmed, edited, and uploaded this Friday because I've been working on it since July.
Yeah.
I think it's been worth it so far.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I sent you the latest video I did of it, right?
Yeah.
Where I added a little more personality to it.
Yeah, with the peepers.
Yep. So, I got to start a print, which actually I should be able to do from here because the Pruz is connected.
God, I don't even know what that's like anymore.
Starting a print?
Yeah.
How do I describe it?
I think I'm gonna tear my Octoprint or Octopies down and update them again because now there's a new Pi OS out.
I think I'm going to tear my Octoprint Pies down, sell them for $200 a pop, and
no doubt, right? God, that's just killing me because I could use a couple more of them.
That's the thing. That's one of the things that's limiting me right now is that ideally there'd be a Raspberry Pi at the core. And actually right now, the most success I've had is I dug up an old Pi 3 that I had and put it in it. But I've been working to try and use an Orange Pi to do everything I want it to. And I haven't been as successful with it as I've been in the past because the Orange Pi Retropie project, like the Retropie conversion, is being maintained by one guy, and he's kind of been unavailable for the past 2 years. So it's running on a 2-year-old version of Armbian. Now, is it that big of an issue because it's not going to be connected to the internet? No. It's, the same as having any other console or device that isn't connected to the internet. Like stability is the only thing you have to then worry about. But
well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's not even so much a security thing. It's like stability in as far as new features.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that big of a deal because, as you know, this is also a device that's targeted at some very specific stuff.
Right.
So, as I talk about this, everybody here
Mark
probably
likes to print something. The problem is Mark, I only print stuff when I need stuff. I'm all done printing crap.
But if you actually need to print a poop emoji, then would you not be done printing crap?
Well, if I needed it, yeah. Then.
But it would still be printing
Well,
crap.
eventually I'd be done printing crap. I mean, they don't take forever.
Nope.
Scott said, love White Castle, never bothered me. But man, I'm done with Taco Bell. Quality is non-existent. All added fillers, extra tortillas, and goo cheese. I agree. Taco Bell's quality just dived hard. And then when they got rid of the Mexi Melt, that's when I gave up on them. The Mexi Melt was my favorite.
Well, I still like it, so.
I didn't say I don't like it.
It's just that you're not going to do that to yourself anymore.
Yeah, not if I don't have to. I mean, we like once in a while, no different than Pizza Hut pizza. Every once in a while, I'll be like, man, I want a Pizza Hut pizza.
We've got one of those opening here. Sorry, finish and then I'll get into my little rant.
I don't particularly like Pizza Hut pizza. Like it's not my
once
favorite,
in a while you're in the mood for it.
But yeah, just once in a while you crave it. So
so I don't live in Ottawa. I live somewhat close to Ottawa, but I live in a smaller town that's got like a population of, I don't know, 25,000 people.
And these are their problems. Oh.
And these, yeah. It's basically Letterkenny. So we have, I think we counted out, and we have 9 places that you can get pizza right now. We have a Pizza Hut opening next week, and another franchise just announced, hey, we're opening a location there. Like the comments on Facebook are getting, because like they were ridiculous when they announced we were getting Domino's. It was like, oh great, just what we need, another pizza place. And it's like, okay, Pizza Hut's coming, and now this other place is coming, and like the comments are just like, and then like people are like, oh, when's the Pizza Hut open? And it's like, are you really in that much of a hurry to have another type of pizza?
Yeah, but it's variety. I mean,
the snag they're running into now too is that, and I think it's unique from the other situation with employment, is that they can't find enough part-time and minimum wage employees to keep these restaurants going because the town isn't big enough to have that many of them. Yeah. And the ones that are here, most of them are working for the more mom and pop stops. They don't want to go work at a chain restaurant. So like the mom and pop shops are not having too much trouble getting people. But these places here is like, I think the Pizza Hut was supposed to open at the end of August, and it doesn't look like they've been able to get anybody to apply.
Wow.
So.
Well, maybe they'll pay well then.
Like they are offering decent pay. I think it literally is just coming down to like there aren't enough people that fit into the category of those positions in this area, because otherwise you're driving out like you're driving 20-30 minutes from Ottawa to work a job that's, you know, even slightly above minimum wage. It's like, or you can just get the same job for the same company at a different location closer to you. Yeah. And you can't bus either, so it's going to be reliant on people that can drive here.
But I mean, Pizza Hut's owned by PepsiCo.
Yep.
But I mean, those guys don't willy-nilly build a restaurant without researching it first.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure they've looked and seen that this place. I won't get into the name of the city I live in or the town I live in.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
But I'm sure they've looked into it and been like, oh, they seem to eat a lot of pizza there. And I'm sure that I'm sure they've done more than that. And like the thing is, like, I'll also be the first one to admit, Kayleen and I are both like, you know, when Pizza Hut opens, we're gonna order some Pizza Hut pizza. We haven't had it in almost 10 years at this point. Well, it's not true. When she and I went to IRF, we got in super late that night, and well, like you weren't there, but like the story. We got in super late the night of, and the McDonald's across from the hotel was closed, and Domino's was closed, and Taco Bell was closed, everything. But Pizza Hut was open till 11. So it was like 9:45, and everything was closed. So we put an order, maybe it was later than that. We put an order at Pizza Hut, and an hour and 20 minutes goes by and it hasn't shown up, and it had to be later because we were past midnight. And Kay's like, I think that they just forgot to like switch the we're offline thing or whatever on the app. And it was over an hour and a half. The pizza finally showed up, and it was cold and it was uncut.
No, that's how they serve them.
Yep, cold, uncut, and all the toppings shifted to one side. And Kay took 2 bites of it, and she's like, "I'm at the point now where I'm so hungry that and this tastes so bad that it's going to make me sick. So I'm just going to go to bed hungry."
Yep, that's just how it is.
I think we ordered a stuffed crust, and there was no cheese in the crust. I'm not saying that there was never cheese in the crust. I'm just saying that by the time we got to it, it wasn't there anymore.
Right?
Yeah,
it had evaporated.
So, how many do we have watching right now?
15.
Oh, that's a number that you said.
So, you can tell it is because of the way it is.
Diddly, diddly, diddly.
So
That's just the way it is.
did you pick up the topic for today? We were talking about it just as you were coming in too, but so Mitch asked on Twitter this week about
I did see the thing. It was about tools for a new workshop.
Yep, building a new workshop. What are must-have tools? And I thought, that's a great topic. So
I think Glenn is the must-have tool for this stream.
No, I'm just a tool. That's all there is to it.
But you're must-have because we stream it on your channel.
But I'm not only a tool, I'm also a machine.
The women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you lying down.
So anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a good topic. And I said, of course, the answer to that question is going to be very dependent upon what kind of shop. Is it a wood shop? Is it a automotive shop? Is it are you doing furniture? Are you doing 3D printing?
All I can hear in my head is a song that's not very safe for work, but the lyric is it's like you're talking about, is it this shop? I'm like, I'll take you to the candy shop.
But no, I just so I thought that was a and there's Mitch. Mitch said that tweet got super popular. Absolutely, Mitch. And in the beginning of this stream, when I started talking about it, I did give you credit for it. I didn't just straight up steal it from you, but I thought it was a really good topic. And I said it's funny because the one tool that I really suggested Mitch to get, I don't currently own. I've had access to it 2 times in my life. Most recently, Sean had one. And of course, when he moved out, he took it along with him. So I lost access to it. And then same thing had happened years ago. Another friend of mine had one, but he moved away. So I don't have access to it anymore. But Swag Off-Road builds a kit where you take a portable bandsaw, and they make a kit. Like they have a couple different versions depending on what bandsaw you have. And you can actually bolt your portable bandsaw to this table, and it turns it into a bench top bandsaw. And that thing, you can cut plastics, you can cut wood. The blade's not really for that, but thin wood, no problem. Plexiglass, plexi and acrylics, ABSs.
But can you cut calories?
You can cut you can, because you can cut your food in half, and you just give away half or throw away half, and you only eat half.
It's like you cut your food in half and then you don't eat either half because they've got blade stuff on them now, and you'd probably
right. Well, depending on what you cut before that.
Yeah.
Right. But no, it's a fantastic tool, and I've now got it on my list. In fact, it may be on the Christmas list this year. I don't know. Because I haven't started putting my Christmas list together yet, but it's just all around quality wise, it's a fantastic tool. And I have no affiliation with Swag Off-Road, other than the fact that I would love for them to send me some things for my channel. So if you ever order anything from Swag, make sure you put in the comments that Glenn from Fun King Garage sent you. They won't know who I am, but maybe if enough people say that, they'll come looking for me. But no, really, it's really the one that Sean bought was the one that goes in a vise. So it's got a break on each side of it, but it's only like this tall. It's the regular width. And it also doesn't have the miter slot in it. if you get the one that has the legs, it's got the miter slot and it's got the legs, and overall it's just a really fantastic piece, and it can be bolted down to the bench or clamped down to the bench. But the bandsaw that he bought was a Wen, W-E-N, through the Amazons. It was okay.
Okay, so now we know the when and we know the where.
Right. The why was because it was cheap. It was a very affordable saw, but the blades that it came with were garbage. And so he ended up breaking 2 blades on that thing, and then he just didn't use it. Well, I needed it one day, and he had bought some Lennox blades. Highly, highly recommend Lennox for all your blade needs.
Especially the Ubuntu ones.
What's that?
Especially the Ubuntu ones.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up putting a blade on that thing so that I could use it, and then it was great. I won't say that Wen saw is the greatest saw, but for the price, I think it's like $89.
You saw the potential.
Yeah. So
I can't believe how many people are unsubscribing from you today.
Suddenly we're down to 8 watchers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm off my acid reflux medication right now. That's why the coughs are back. But
watch this. Sec.
Mitch 3D said, "When's a good brand, but the Harbor Freight drill press was $100 less."
Kay keeps saying, "Oh, it's Bender." I'm like, "Well, no, it's not Bender. It's Bendy." And she's like, "Oh, is that what he's actually called?" I'm like, "No, I'm just teasing you. It's Flexo." I don't remember where I left off with him now.
You don't remember where you left off on it?
Nope.
Start over. It'll be fine.
Just smash it on the ground and start pulling parts out.
That's right. Just start all over.
Oh boy, here I go starting all over again.
But so Mitch, why don't you, I know that it's not the easiest, but why don't you tell us a little bit as far as what kind of stuff you're looking for? I know that you have your CNC, and obviously you do 3D printing. So, because I mean, I can start telling you right now, if you're looking for hand tools, depending on what range that you want to spend, I can give you recommendations on those. He says he's looking for vise. Any recommendations? Again, how big of a vise do you need?
Vise, baby.
Are you, I mean, I think everybody should have a few vices.
My vice is slice. I think that's the motto for a TV show or a TV station.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously if you're looking for a drill press vise, that's going to be completely different than a bench vise. Sorry, there's really no better bench vise than a Wilton, but you'll also not have any money for projects after you buy one. I mean,
that's good because it means it can never fail on you.
Yeah, I've seen those things up into the thousands of dollars. The one that I'm looking at 2 at Harbor Freight. What's their new red ones? Are they the O'Doyles?
No, they're the O'Doys.
Maybe it's not O'Doyle. Maybe it's just Doyle. O'Doyle's rule.
What was that from?
What's that?
What's that O'Doyle's rule from?
I think it's from it's Adam Sandler, the one where he goes back to school. Is it called Back to School?
Is that Billy Madison?
Billy Madison. There you go. O'Doyle's rule. Mitch said, "I got into this kick of tools watching your Fun King Garage making that bracket." I'll tell you.
That's not so much. It sounds so much like swearing when you say it like that. Like I just picture him angrily saying, "Got back into watching tools of watching your Fun King Garage videos."
FK Garage. Because being able to quickly make a bracket without hand tools is super useful for most things. It's funny because I am super blessed with the amount of tools that I have. I mean, there's no question. I have a ton of tools. But there is still stuff that I want/need, which is really weird. I really still want to get a plasma CNC table. I'm going to look up that vise because Mark said bar, but I don't think it is. It's all right. I got Harbor Freight on speed dial.
A little HF action. Let's see.
All right. Not their central, not the blue ones. It is Doyle. So I'm kind of back and forth between the Doyle 6-inch. I suppose I could let me just share this. Let's browse Harbor Freight together, shall
Let's talk about that.
Share screen. This one. Share. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not very fun.
Yes, I didn't like that.
No, anybody that is susceptible to seizure, I apologize.
Glenn, please wake up. I don't like this.
Let's try that again. Ah, that's better. All right, so I'm back and forth between this guy right here, this 6-inch Doyle. My problem, yeah, see, like compared to Wilton, nope. Look, compared to the Wilton Tradesman at $1,000. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, Doyle Vise is not a comparison to a Wilton. Absolutely, positively not. But $229 for this 6-inch. The other one that I'm looking at is this guy right here. So it's a 5-inch. You lose an inch, but this one is a swivel. So like the whole vise will rotate. So if you need clamping up and down, I don't know if they give us any pictures of that. Let's just go through all the photos. Yeah, there you go. So it's got a pipe clamp on it. It's got round stock clamp down here, and then you've got your full rotational. And it's only an inch more narrow than the other one, but it's significantly cheaper. So I guess I just sold myself. That's probably the one I'm going to buy. And it does not have an anvil. It has an anvil-shaped item. If you hammer on that thing like you would a true anvil, you will blow that vise into dust. Just so you know. But, all right, I have to close this now because I can't see the chat when that's up. Woo, boy, I missed a lot. Hercules is their heavy-duty brand. I just bought a new tool today, an electric pole saw. Oh, that sounds like too much work.
Ouch.
If you need a pole saw, no, that's not fun. I'm fortunate my next door neighbor has one of those, so if I need one, I just go get his. Langmuir is really cheap for a CNC plasma. That's actually what I'm looking at, but I don't want their smallest one. I want the next level up. So, but I wouldn't recommend a plasma without the automatic height control. Absolutely. I know where a Tormach 440 might be for sale. How far away is it, and how much is it? Have you watched Fireball Tools Vice build? Yes, I thoroughly enjoy Jason and his videos. I am a Fireball Tool fan. I can't afford any of his stuff. I'd love to have his new fabrication table, his jig table, but it's hard to read. I shouldn't have wrote it on blue. Put something behind it because the light's coming through. Nope, still not working.
Hold on. It's because your sticker's all odd shaped.
Yeah, so you are the first person outside of this house to get my
There you go.
stickers.
It says I farted in this box before I taped it up, so enjoy that. And then there's a smiley face that I can only describe as extremely perverted.
Well, that's because it felt really nice when I let that fart out into the box.
I believe that's called fetish.
Yeah, so not only are you the first person outside the house to get those stickers, they even went outside the country.
That's true.
So
I'm a very important person to basically nobody at this point.
Just 3D print a vise instead.
I 3D printed a vise for circuit boards. And then I got these guys.
Oh yeah.
The classics.
Alan King said, "Where is it made?" Are you talking about the vise? I'm sure China.
Everything's made in China.
I doubt any of these are not from China. Yeah, there you go. Fireball vise is more than my CNC. Oh yeah, that vise is sweet, but yeah, I mean that fab table for the single 5x10 or whatever it is, it's over a 4x8, but it's $10,000, and it weighs like 4,000 pounds. So wherever I put it, it would just have to stay there.
That's why I can't leave Canada.
Scott said I have a Wilton version of that swivel vise from Lowe's. It's pretty solid. Well, and you got to be careful with Wilton though, because some of them are U.S. made and some of them are foreign made. Again, chances are, as a home user, you're probably never really going to know the difference if you don't abuse it. But
I don't think I can get the camera far enough away from this to make it.
Tormac, Kentucky, and I'll ask the price. I'd be interested to find out. Kentucky isn't that far away from me. I can be in Kentucky in 10 hours. So Wilton is a brand I saw, but I didn't know what the benefit is. So quality. It really comes down to quality. And again, American made over foreign made. The Wilton line that's foreign made isn't worth what they charge for it. Like, you might as well buy another foreign made and save some money. But like, if you can find an old used Wilton, or if you can chunk down $1,000 and buy a good, well, it'll literally outlast your grandchildren. The threading in it and stuff, the lead screw, like, it won't gall up in there and stuff. You'll never stretch it. You're not going to bend it. I mean, unless you do something like really, really stupid and put like a huge, pipe on there for leverage and stuff, you may bend something, but probably just the pipe. So, oops, nope, it's an Irwin. Great. Thanks, Scott. Had my hopes all up. No, I'm just kidding. And honestly, it's probably built in the same manufacturing facility. Premium Chinesium. Yep, absolutely. Sent a text to the guy on the Tormach. Yeah, all right, so it's now September, which means I'm kicking into Christmas light mode, as crazy as that is. And I have already had like ideas for 10 different items that I could make on a plasma CNC table that I could resell. And like, one of them would be really super easy. I could just have it cut out a bunch of them, and then a couple seconds in the press to break them, and they would stack nice for storage, and I could probably get $4 or $5 a piece for them, and it would cost me maybe $1 to make them. So I could make the plasma CNC table pay itself off. My problem is anytime I turn a hobby into a business, I lose interest in it.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, because now it's work.
Yep.
So
who wants to put effort into anything anyways, honestly?
What's that?
I said, who wants to put effort into anything on it anyways, honestly?
Yeah, really. No. I like working at my own pace. That's really the problem. If it's something that I can like produce and just sell when I made one, that's fine. It's when people are like, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me this?
Can you make me 50 of those?
That's like, then I don't want to deal with it.
It's already too much effort.
Yeah. Makes me tired.
Same, bro, same.
Mitch said, I looked on Facebook Marketplace, but most of those are rusted vices that sat in garages. If it's an old Wilton, it can be restored. I've seen it happen. You can get it for the right price. It's worth it. So, All you gotta do is buy one of those laser rust removal tools for $40,000. No, I'm just kidding.
But then you can resell it for 39,000. So you know, you spent 1,000, but then you get what you needed.
Right. Yoast viruses. Yoast Vice's 5-inch heavy duty bench vise on Amazon has good reviews. I want to say that I looked at those. I've never physically touched one, but again, I'm sure it's probably the same manufacturer. Hobby business, don't do it. Yeah, exactly. How did you print that back panel, James?
Carefully.
On a 3D printer?
Which the
one that we can see, I'm assuming.
No, it's just it's flat on the one side, and I just embossed the two logos into it.
And what printer was that done on?
That was my Prusa Mark III.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, I just cut holes out for the stuff I need. I made this a panel because there's going to be more tolerant stuff adjusted here, and I didn't want to reprint the entire panel, and I didn't feel like cutting it apart. So I was like, I'll make this a swappable panel, and then people can make their own one here if they don't want to use the custom power board I used.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the way that power board works, because I've got a second one here, it was actually designed for another project, and I had 5 of them, so I might as well reuse it. So it's a board like this one. And so on one side, you've got 3 USB ports that are exposed outside. And then there's a 5-volt MOSFET here and a DC barrel jack. And then on the other side, you've got input pins for the USB data lines and then some auxiliary power, as well as 2 powered USB ports. So these are no data, these are just power. So the switch connects to the middle, and when you turn the switch on, it sends 5 volts into the is it the gate pin for the MOSFET, which basically so it basically acts as acts as
the collector.
Collector's the one that receives the toggle, basically.
I think so. Yeah.
I get them mixed up all the time. I'm terrible.
Yeah, I can't remember anymore. It's been so long.
I would usually look it up without talking authority on it just to make sure I get it right. So there's a pull down resistor here.
I would never do such a thing like that. I would never stop filming in the middle of a video to go look it up and make sure I know what I'm talking about.
So there's a pull down resistor here. So this basically connects 5 volts to the collector pin on the MOSFET, which basically turns the MOSFET into a digital power on off. So this board provides whatever power comes through the DC jack, but it's 5 volts to all the components. And I've done fairly heavy copper traces for everything that needs it. And then it allows me to relocate the additional 3 USB from whichever Pi I'm using to the back of the unit, so you can connect stuff to it.
Nice.
So it kind of works the same way as an ATX power supply does, where the power goes through to certain stuff, but it's almost like a soft on. So like you provide power to here, and that's when this controls actually turning everything on and off. So I think that was the very first circuit board I ever actually designed. You can tell by the way it is.
Yeah, you can tell it is by by the
way it is. Yep. Just lock your peepers onto it there. I'm actually reprinting the rear panel with a couple adjustments, and I'm printing the first few layers. So I'm printing it with this side down. I've taken the bevel off of here so it'll print a little bit cleaner and made this a little bit thinner. But I'm going to print the first 4 or 5 layers in gray and then switch to blue, so the logos will be in blue.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm so fancy. Like, you already know. Anyways. That's where we're at.
Sorry, I was looking up Bryce. Yeah, Bryce said Born 79 on YouTube has vids on Vices. I was just looking up that channel because I'd never seen it before, and there's a link to it. Yeah, my big challenge, which I displayed in last week's video. I have to think about it. I think it was last week's video, or the last video, not this one. I don't know. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. The remote oil filter video. My vise is not bolted to a bench. Now I have a vise bolted to a bench, but I'd loaned that bench to Sean, so he actually had my bolted down vise. It's the only bench that I have that's really solid enough to put a vise on. But what I want is a portable stand. I shouldn't let this out of the bag because somebody else is going to run to market with it. So if you look up like a portable bench grinder stand, and Harbor Freight sells one. It's just a little 3-legged thing, pipe coming up, plate on the top, and you put your bench vise or your bench grinder on there. I want to kind of do the same thing, except for I want it to have a super heavy base. So I was originally thinking about using like a semi-truck brake drum because those are astronomically heavy. But I was also thinking about just like a square block of concrete would be fine too. And I want it to have wheels. I don't know how to really describe this without drawing pictures, but if you think about a square block of concrete like this, wood frame around it, whatever, and then two big wheels on it like a hand truck, and then the pipe coming up, but not from the middle, more towards the back, coming up, and then a 2-inch hitch receiver. Mitch said, already catting up your idea to send to China. Well, please do, because I really want one of these.
It'd be easier if they just made it for you.
Yeah, if they just made it, and I could go buy one. But go to a 2-inch hitch receiver. That way I could have a plate for my bench grinder. I could have a plate for my vise. I could have a plate for my tubing roller. And I could use one base and change out what tool I want. Plus, with those wheels on there, you'd be able to grab the arm and tilt it back like a hand truck and roll it out into the middle of the floor. Because when I roll tubing, I may be rolling, 10-foot sticks, or 20-foot sticks. I've never done a 20, but you could get it. So you have to have that swing, as where, obviously a bench grinder could be tucked in the corner. So that's kind of my thought. And I mean, obviously I can fabricate all this. I just haven't done it. Steel's expensive. Tony said, just make a plate that has a 2-inch receiver hitch post that you can bolt the vise to. That's exactly it. So
I'm trying to find.
How do you want me to contact you about the Tormach? Well, you can send it to me through the Twitter DMs. Probably Mitch the same, but maybe we'll go in halvesies on it.
I'm trying to find a SD card reader because I need to write a card and I can't find one that works.
Well, that's pretty common. Mitch said, yeah, that's what I'm planning for, having space to cut and drill long bars. I will tell you, and it was in my old age, people's names leave me. His name is Stacy from Gears on TV. I can never remember his last name. It'll take me a second. I'll find it. But I was watching a video of him setting up his new shop, and it was something that like I had always considered and didn't always do. Stacy David. He said the biggest thing he did when he was setting up the new shop was to make sure everything was easily movable. So if it could be put on wheels, it was put on wheels. If it was too heavy for wheels, it was put on some type of a pallet, so it could be moved with a forklift or a pallet jack. So definitely, I would definitely recommend, like, to me, everything in the garage needs to be on wheels and elevated. So here in Florida, we have these things that are called nope ropes. Not that they're not elsewhere too, but many years ago, one of our neighbors was in his garage, and in fact, it was one of the neighbors that gave me my passion for automobiles. but he went to clean under his bench and just reached underneath there to scoop the stuff out and was bit by a 6-foot rattlesnake. So, yeah, I don't reach under benches. I don't reach under toolboxes. If I drop something and it falls underneath there, I'm getting it out with a magnet stick or a broom. I'm not reaching underneath there. So everything's got to be on wheels so you can clean underneath it anyway. So, but, so I definitely, if you're setting up a shop, I definitely recommend figuring out how to put things either on wheels or some way that you could use a pallet jack. Unless you're fortunate enough to have a forklift. I'd love to have a forklift. I just can't find one that I can afford. I'm not as serious, but I'm just curious. Twitter DM. Yeah, Glenn has 220 hookup and a garage. In a rental house, everything needs to come apart to fit through a door. Oh, I definitely got 220. 220 is not a problem. Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely a thing that I've been kicking around for a while to be able to plasma CNC some stuff. And I mean, you can make signs and things and make money off of Etsy, but does Harbor Freight sell forklifts? No.
Not yet.
They don't. They do sell pallet jacks though. Sandra can be our first operator. Oh, that boy. We were talking about sick week. So I can give you guys updates on sick week because I was talking about finishing the Thunderbird for sick week. Plans have changed. It looks like the Talon. It looks like my 92 all-wheel drive turbocharged Talon is going for sick week. Registration opens in October, and it is taking place, I think it's like the 12th to the 17th in February. So, but I am still going to work on the 66 T-Bird and get it ready for Hot Rod Power Tour, which will likely take place in either June or July. And the reason for that is sick week will be just Xander and I. Power tour will be my whole family. So it just makes more sense to have the T-Bird Power Tour. But Xander's getting like excited about filming and being a camera op for the different car shows and events. So that's pretty exciting. Bryce said, Mitch, I have a scalable CNC router you can build for under 1K, fit through your door, and run off a single 15 amp 110 outlet. But the Tormach is a plasma CNC. Didn't you have children for reaching under stuff and checking on for the snakes? No. Oddly, the only wildlife that I've had in my garage, there was a stray dog in there once. I've had two different times where gopher turtles have been in the garage. You guys don't know what gopher turtles is. It's kind of like the Florida state bird.
Teenage Mutant Gopher Turtles.
They're pretty awesome. They're tortoises. They're not a wet turtle. Please don't ever throw a gopher turtle in the water.
What if they look at you funny? Is that okay then?
They're protected.
Oh.
They're a protected species. We have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 of them on the property. But oh, Mark said, wait, Glenn, you're asking for a plasma cutter? Sorry, no, this is a CNC mill. Well, I'm still curious, but I thought Tormach was a plasma. Unless they do both. But I'll still take the info. I'll still take the info.
Everything sucks all the time, Glenn.
What's that?
I said everything sucks all the time.
And all the time, everything sucks.
It's true. That was an ordeal finding something to read this card. I ended up going with, I've got a, and it is cheap from China, so all the data goes, no, I'm just kidding.
Right to the Chinese government.
I got a USB dock for hard drives, and it takes ID, SATA, and 2.5 and 3.5 inch ones. It's one of these guys, and it's it's not the fastest or
One
whatever,
of what
but
guys we can't see. Oh, there you go.
there.
Okay, yeah.
They say it's got bays for ID and
Wow,
SATA.
that is definitely an all-in-one. Holy cow.
Yep. And it works fine, other than the regular SD slot on it, the little sensor that detects whether or not the read-only switch is flipped, is a little janky, and I haven't had a chance to take it apart. So sometimes you have to like wiggle a card on insertion to make sure that it detects that it's in fact not read-only.
That's good and healthy.
But well, I mean, I think I'd rather have it assume everything's read-only than assume not.
Than to assume that you want to format everything.
Yeah. But
now formatting. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted.
too bad. That's what you get. But yeah, so I went and dug that back out. I'm like, well, it's got a card reader on it. Good enough.
Yeah, I had to buy. It doesn't do like the drives and stuff, but it does a bunch of media cards that aren't even in use anymore. But I bought it for in here because I would get done filming and I would take the SD card out of the camera and take it upstairs
And then forget
and
where you put it.
then forget it. And I'd come down here to film and I'd be like, oh, and I'd have to go all the way back upstairs to go get it.
And you know what? There's been like that happens to me all the time because I bring my SD cards upstairs to toss into my laptop to copy off.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of times where I come down to record, I get everything set up, and the card's not there, and that's it for me for the night. I'm like, I wasn't feeling energetic enough to be down here in the first place. If I have to go back up the stairs, I'm not coming back down.
That's it. It's over. I'm just not doing it now.
Yep, I just quit.
But no, so I bought a card reader for in here, and then well, in fact, right there. What I do is I bring the SD card in here, pop it in, and throw everything to go to the network drive.
Yep.
And then by the time I get upstairs, it's halfway done uploading.
Do you edit right from the network drive?
Yes.
Are you wireless or wired on the device that you're doing your editing on?
Wired.
Okay. See, I was doing that too. I was uploading to my file server from here, but I was doing the editing on my laptop over wireless, and it was not the best experience to be.
No, yeah, that doesn't go well. No, I'm coming from the Linux server to my machine through gigabit 1000 base 10 base T network. No. through BNC connection. No. But no, it seems to work fine. Hey, Brian. Mitch said, I need a memory stick reader. I have pictures from 2004. I'm not sure how to read. Well, you should be able to find one on Amazon's. I mean, I bought this. I don't even know. Let's see if I can. I don't know how long these cords are. They're not very. Let me just pull it up on the Amazons and I'll see. Because I know it wasn't very expensive. And oh, Amazon. Log me out. I have to wait for my one-time password. It's all because my passwords were compromised. All right. The brand is Kingwin. High-speed SD MS Micro M2 CF card reader. It's a USB 3.0. It's also got USB It's got a 3-port hub in it. MS, SD, M2, TF, CS. Here, I'm just going to share a link. And it's absolutely going to be an affiliate link. So if you buy anything, I get all your monies. Brian said I should use a VPN. I actually use a VPN to go between my machine and the office. I also use a VPN, like when I'm at a hotel, I VPN into my house so that I can have my Pi hole. But to VPN between my machine and the server would be way overkill. They literally live like this to each other. Best card reader I've ever owned is a micro to Type-C, and it's a speedy boy. Yeah, I don't know. This thing isn't too bad. I mean, it does fine. It's just the files, like when I'm downloading from the Sony, that it's all 4K stuff. So, oh, and that card reader that I posted the link to, it's only $19 because I'm cheap.
Hey, did we talk about this last week? One of the
That I'm
actresses.
cheap? Oh,
Yeah, that too. One of the actresses from Shoresy was shot in LA.
no, what?
Yeah, one of the the two girls that are like the assistants to the assistant to the owner of the
The hockey
franchise.
team?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the two of them was shot. She's
Wow.
okay. I think she's back in Canada now, but shot in the chest.
Wow.
I check like once a week to see if they've announced a second
Shoresy.
Shoresy. I feel like they would have announced it by now if it was going to happen. What do you think?
No, not necessarily. I mean, that stuff takes a long time.
It has been a while though.
And then, like if they release the information too early, then they got to deal with the rabid fans.
That's true.
That's
I'd go full gainer down the crack in Clarny just to hold your place. I swear I'd be so good to you.
Yeah, you got that accent down really well.
What accent?
The Canadian one.
Let's go to 7-Star Dumpling House and have some bip and bap.
The developers of Minecraft. I'm not going to say Mojang because it's really Microsoft. They have announced that they are no longer going to announce what's up and coming if it's not
like
already
coming out
ready.
This week. Right.
Yeah, like if it's not absolutely ready to go, they're not going to tell people because they're
smart
tired
lesson to learn.
Yeah, they're tired of people giving them a lot of pressure.
The game that Notch worked on before Minecraft had a habit of announcing features and stuff like that way too soon. And they actually have, like, Minecraft, every time you launch the launcher, it has a quote that it'll display.
Right.
Well, they have that in this game as well. And one of the quotes was, the bridges will be in before Christmas. And it's like Rolf 2016. And bridges didn't come in until like 2016 versus 2006. It's 10 years later.
Mr. David Randolph has joined us. Where's the 3D printing? It's on James's side. He just hasn't done it.
No, it's running. I guess I could just add
add another camera.
I mean, there's I think already a camera pointed at it.
This is not necessarily a 3D printing show anymore. Actually, yeah. Dave, what we're talking about today is shop tools. For setting up a new shop, the tools that you would recommend to somebody.
Also, I would like to announce that I just got 4 rolls of printed solid filament.
Yeah, Prusament, you mean? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that filament went a long way.
It did.
All the way to Florida and then all the way to Canada.
I couldn't get over the cost of the shipping either when I saw that on the label.
Oh, what it costs to send it up there?
Yeah.
I didn't know they printed that on the label.
They did indeed.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't get to give gifts. People need to know what you're worth to them.
Yeah.
There's a printer running. David Randolph should be quite happy. I don't think it's using printed solid material right now because I'm saving that for a bigger project.
Yeah, well, as expensive as it gets when you send it to Canada.
Yeah, seriously.
God,
I think
the guy at the post office was so funny though. He goes, "Does that say an edged camping crimper or crimping tool?" I said, "No, camping tool." And he like looks at me like I have two heads, and he's like, "What's a edged camping tool?" I said, "It's a knife." Why didn't you just write knife? I said, "Because that's not what the U.S. Department of Customs wants on there." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Went through no problem. They didn't even open the box and see the note about the fart.
Or they did, and that's why it didn't smell so much like farts when it got here. Like it still smelled a little like farts.
They let all the fart out of it.
Yep.
God, the absolute funniest was Murph that year that Xander told Joe Mike that he was going to fart in a bag and give it to him. And so we had to bring a Ziploc bag with us that we filled with air. And Xander wrote on there to Joe Mike and gave it to him at breakfast. Like he went to give it to him, and Joe Mike takes off running, and Xander's chasing him through the lobby of the hotel. And he's like, "I don't want that." And he's like, "It's for you." So then he comes back. He sits down with us to have breakfast, and he sets the bag on the table. And he goes, "Is that really a fart in the bag?" I said, "You don't know what's in the bag, but yet you lay it on the table with our food?" David Randolph said, "White Castle is a shop tool essential." Absolutely, it is. Just a little sponsorship working there. I say gear wrench, channel lock, DeWalt. Well, again, it depends on what tools you're looking for. Gear wrenches are okay if you just like they're good quality, but they don't have a super huge selection. That's why I always went with Craftsman, because Craftsman was affordable and they had a really good assortment. And then they started making them in China, and I stopped buying them. So now I'm all about the Tekton. Some of Tekton's stuff is overseas. A lot of it's right here in the U.S. So Mitch said White Castle will be good, but I've had too much in the last couple of months since I moved. Yeah, when we go to Murph, we eat like 3 or 4 times on the way up and 3 or 4 times on the way back. And then it was good for a year. Paul Comer said, "How do you put Retropie Wi-Fi on it?" You're trying to set up a Retropie with Wi-Fi?
So there's a couple ways, assuming you've got a Pi that's the 3B plus or higher has Wi-Fi. Probably the easiest way now is with the latest version of Retropie. You can just go into the Retropie menu on Retropie, then go to Wi-Fi, and you should be able to enable it from there. It'll ask you to pick which country you're in. So you have to set your localization country to say, okay, you're in the States or whatever. And that's so it knows how to operate the antenna based on your country. Then after that, it's just a matter of, it'll say like connect to Wi-Fi. I'd have to bring it up to get the exact terminology. But connect to Wi-Fi, and then you pick it, and it'll bring an on-screen keyboard up that you can use joysticks to select. The other way is you can add the Wi-Fi supplicant file to the card, where there's a specific formatted file that we can go find, but you give it your SSID and your password there, and it loads it from the file and connects from there.
Now, can you load your own OS and then load Retropie, or do you have to load the Retropie image?
No, you can dump. There is a Retropie setup script that you can execute on an already installed version of Raspberry Pi OS or Armbian or a couple of other ones.
The reason that I asked that is because with the not necessarily the most recent, but semi-recent versions of the Pi OS, the install is super easy now.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially now that you can do the install from the Pi without having a computer involved. Right? The latest versions of the Pi, I believe you can actually
You can do it without a computer?
I believe so. I believe you can do. There's a firmware update for the Pi 4 that allows you to.
Oh, I don't have a Pi 4. I can't afford that.
I'd have to double check because maybe I'm talking out my butt, but I believe that there's a firmware update for the latest version of the Pi, and it allows it to connect to the internet, download an image of the card itself.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. No, I
Yeah.
like for updating my Pi 3s. Like when you run the install script, it comes up with a menu and you get to choose, like you can set all of your like your SSH login and password and stuff all right in there, and so it's pretty slick. It's a lot easier to set it up now than it's ever been in the past.
I just realized my card, in fact, has not been writing. The disk imager just froze when I clicked the write button.
Oh, excellent.
So that's unhelpful.
Brian said I should start a hardware store, Glenn's Tools. It would probably be called Fun King Tools. Get your hands off my Fun King tool.
There you go. You got a motto already.
Paul said, what am I building? I am actually building a
spaceship.
Spaceship! Well, we'll go back to the main camera. That is the Galaxy Explorer, the 90th. Yeah, 90th anniversary of Lego. So the original one of these was a little bit smaller. They redesigned it to be larger and more pieces. In fact, they rate it for 18 and up, which is pretty crazy because I'm pretty sure my kids could build this. But I'm a classic space guy. Like, I absolutely love classic space. So
He's what's commonly called a space cadet.
Well, yeah, but not because of my Lego thing. Usually because I can't remember anything anymore. But they're saying that could be related to the anemia as well. So maybe if I get that fixed, I'll be smart again. I've never been able to remember people's names, so that'll never change. I noticed my mom didn't join us again today. She called me today and said, or she called me Friday. She said, you have diabetes? I'm like, yep.
Did she not know? You never told her?
Apparently she wasn't paying attention. But no, she was filling out a medical form to go to a new doctor. And of course, they ask about all of your family's issues. And then she's like, these doctors don't do anything anymore. They just make you do all the work. And I said, that's so they know what to test you for. So, yeah. And then she's like, well, what else is wrong with you? And I said, how much time you got? Brian said, one of you should put Clipper on a printer. No, I've decided that I'd rather punch myself in the face repeatedly.
3D printing is very much evolved into a tool for me. And I think I've kind of moved out of the state of trying to, like, I'm always up to design stuff that pushes printers further, but like in terms of edging out performance and stuff.
Well, you know what my thought is? Chances are Chris Riley's going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Chris Riley has ruined every aspiration I ever had to be a 3D printing YouTuber because he does everything I do, but 10 times better.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if he does it before you or after you. He did it first.
Yeah. And I mean that with much love. The world is a much better place with Chris Riley in it.
Absolutely family to us.
I would never want there to not be the Chris Riley on 3D printing YouTube.
No, because now we don't have to do anything.
I
want to see Glenn do the Taj Mahal. Well, send it my way and
I want to see Glenn do the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, you just send them the PO boxes and in the description of the video. Actually, I'm closing that PO box down. I don't get much mail there anymore, and it's costing me like $120 a year.
I paid for a year of a PO box and received nothing other than junk mail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we used to do the mailbag Mondays, which was fun. I think Paul Cumber sent us more than anybody else did, but no, it's just fun to see other stuff. But it got to be where people were just sending me 3D prints, and I had enough of those. No, and I'm not saying that people needed to send me other things, but man, that totally came off bad, didn't it? Nobody was sending me high value gifts anymore.
I tell you, go ahead.
Brian's deleting his posts again.
I tell you, absolutely nothing has gone easy during this stream right now. I'm just trying to run 132 disk imager and it froze. So it's like, okay. So then I try to close it and it's not responding. And then I try and do an end process on it and it won't. It just sits at not responding. I'm like,
Huh.
Excuse me, what the?
What the fun king?
End task. Okay, fine. You know what we're gonna do then? We're gonna drop to the command line. I'm gonna have to do a task list, find all the instances of it, and then I'm gonna have to do a task kill with a force from there, and maybe that'll work. Let's do a task kill /p, I think it is, win32 disk imager.exe/f.
Brian said it's not about who did what or how it's done. We'll look at it. If I ever had a YouTube channel, I wouldn't care how many people have done the same video. I'd do it anyway, just because it's my jam, and it's not my like. So here's the problem. People are the problem. So I want to say it was my Octoprint video, which is probably my most viewed video, way outdated, and I really need to update it. But I released how to set up Octoprint on a Pi. I released that video, and it did well. And I'm not saying I was the first one to ever do it. There was other ones out there. And then Chris Riley did one, and I actually had people leaving me comments saying, "You copied from Chris Riley to make this." I'm like, dude, I released this a year before he did his.
And my thing is, I have so little time lately to work on videos and stuff like that, that if I'm not doing something that nobody like that I don't offer you have a unique view or whatever for, then it's not worth it for me.
Right.
Like if somebody's already done it as good or better than I'm gonna do it, then yeah.
Well, that's just it. Now, like if I get an inkling, like, oh, this would make a good video, I just shoot it over to Chris. I'm like, you should make this. Bryce said, credit to Chris. He has definitely helped a lot of us out. Listen, Chris Riley is an amazing human being, and don't anybody tells him that I said this, I'm going to deny it. He's an amazing human being, and he goes well above and beyond to help people out. You know, like they get stuck or whatever, and they reach out to him, and like the questions people would ask him during the Fun in the Country basement live streams and stuff, and he would just like rattle off how to take care of it and stuff. I mean, just an incredible human being. So yes, he has definitely helped a lot of people out. So
never me though.
No, probably not. He doesn't like Canadians.
No, he's true.
I'm kidding.
He's just like Glenn.
He probably likes Canadians just fine.
Oh boy. You get yourself in hot water again.
I know. And I'm not talking about the maple leaf.
That didn't work either, so.
That's pretty crazy. It's just not meant to be.
Basically, it's like, oh, now you got to reboot your computer. I'm like, well, I can't really tackle that at the moment, thanks. But oh.
Yeah, I was telling James too. I had somebody reach out to me via video comment on a video that I made. Well, in fact, it was the one where I lowered my mom's car, and asked for the part number for the springs. And it might not be known, but I'm a little bit of a smart butt.
Not you.
So my first reply, I ended up having to delete it because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, like, and I just ended up writing something along the lines of, look in the description and you will find what you seek. But I mean, honestly, I put the part number in the description and a link to the product in the description. And they couldn't even be bothered to read the description to see if it was in there. And that, it really annoys me because I work very hard to try to give as much information as I can. Again, my channel is not a how-to channel. Like I don't want it to be a how-to channel. I just want it to be, this is me doing stuff. And if you learn something from it, brilliant. If it gives you an idea, brilliant.
Did I lose audio? Did you lose audio? Give me a thumbs up if it's you. Oh, I'm gonna assume. Yeah, I guess I assume because you pulled that out. Well, I guess I should be entertaining people now. There once was a guy named Dave who found a bleep. She was beep and beep, but think of the money he'd save.
As I was saying, I work hard to give people information. Take initiative and find that information I've given out. I guess I got to save up my pennies and buy some new batteries. I mean, I've been using these for a long time, so they don't really owe me anything. And I do think I have some new ones, but I'm assuming you can hear me now.
Don't worry, guys. Glenn will be back shortly.
Good on you. That's a funny prank there, James.
What?
What? A sphincter says what?
And the sphincter says what? Have you ever? Okay, so there's this fairly famous YouTube duo called Rhett and Link, and they run a show called Good Mythical Morning. Have you ever seen it?
Nope.
If you can, go look up what Rhett and Link look like, and then tell me that Link doesn't look exactly like Dana Carvey.
All right, so it's red like the color red?
No, Rhett. R-H-E-T-T. Yeah.
It would help if I could type Rhett and Link.
Now, I'm not going to guarantee in every picture you see he's going to look like him, but
he kind of looks like a mix between Dana Carvey and what's his name from Ferris Bueller?
Cameron, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
There's some pictures of Link where and when he's talking and stuff, he even kind of sounds like him a little bit. And anyways, they know it. And last year for Christmas or for Halloween, they both dressed up as Wayne from Wayne's World. Yeah, I got a kick out of that.
That's pretty funny.
It's Wayne's World. I'm just living in it. Party time. Quote unquote excellent.
Alan Ruck. So kind of a combination between Dana Carvey and Alan Ruck.
Oh, Alan Ruck isn't who I was thinking of. I don't think.
He plays Cameron Fry on Ferris Bueller.
Why isn't this? I'd say new USB devices are. I think this is just a lost cause. I can't even write the SD card. I need to.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Alan Ruck is somebody different. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No. God, I can't tell because he's old now. Yeah, Cameron Fry was his screen name. Was his character name. Yeah, played by Alan Ruck. He's like super old now. Gosh, why does everybody get old?
You know, Alan Ruck was in Star Trek.
Yeah.
He played the captain of the USS Enterprise.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
He was also in a TV show called Spin City with Michael J. Fox.
That was a great show.
I loved that show. It gave me many of the lulls.
The greatest. Nope. Got that show confused for a second there. It was an episode of Night Court that I was thinking of. Not Spin City. So scratch all that. We'll just edit that out. Good stuff. Tony Ryan wants to know what you and I are going to dress up as for Halloween. Well, from the sounds of it, there's going to be a candy shortage. Hershey's has stated that they are not going to be able to produce enough chocolates to meet the demand for Halloween, which is kind of sad. But as far as, I guess James has decided to leave. He didn't like the question about Halloween. He's like, nope, I'm out. I don't typically dress up for Halloween. We take the kids out. I mean, not Xander so much anymore because he's old too. But I have a. I think I've shown it on streams at some point, but I have. That's James. Yeah. Computer's locked. He'll be back with us. I have a Hannibal Lecter mask that I made out of fiberglass. It's pretty brilliant. So I usually wear that, and I've got a T-shirt that says "Dangerous Inmate" on it, and then I just put on some sweatpants. It was actually a costume that I used in a haunted house that we did for the Cub Scouts years ago. Just messaging James back. He's like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go get some dinner." I'm sure after a reboot he'll be back. We can't have a stream where we don't have issues. I mean, I don't know if he had issues before the stream started. I didn't. I was actually in here plenty early because at about 3:50 this afternoon, the thunder was just hammering, and I knew the rain was coming, so I hurried out here. It's only like a 30 or 40-foot walk, but I didn't want to be in the downpour rain, and it by like 5 after 4, it was pouring. So see, I think I've missed some stuff in the chat. James just had to mention that everything on the stream has been a struggle. Bryce said, just for your information, YouTube has failed to send me notifications for your channel for many months. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I stopped. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to not tick the bell for notifications. But it's the reason why, like with the garage channel, I absolutely positively try to stick to a schedule so that you're not dependent on the notifications. You know when the videos are coming out. And same with this stream. The stream's always at the same time, plus or minus 5 minutes. Because YouTube's notifications are garbage and unreliable. So, but I mean, either which way, appreciate you subscribing and ringing the bell. Glenn in sweatpants with a bowl of candy. Scary thought. Well, and then it's really funny too, because the mask is pretty creepy. And, like, I like kids. Kids are fun. And so, like, I'll be smiling at some kid in a really cool costume and they can't see me smiling from behind it. And so I'm just like kind of staring at them and then they're like all freaked out. It's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, James just sent me a picture that I can't share, but it says now stuck on restarting screen. It's probably doing a Windows update. So he's in the chat. You can talk to him over there. Mark said they send that to me. I can share it with Mitch. Okay. Bryce says kind of miss Fun in the Country Basement. I do too. I miss getting to talk to those two on a regular basis. It was kind of sad because the domain names recently came up, the funinthecountry.com, Fun in the Country Basement, no, Fun Country Basement, Fun in the Country Basement, both of those came up for renewal, and I didn't renew them. I let them go, and that was it was kind of a jab, but I wasn't going to keep paying for domain names that I wasn't using. So I'm going to pop back to this camera. You won't be able to really see what I'm working on, but if somebody comes in, it's going to look weird with just being me and then, just looking at that. So that's a lot of information. 15 hours on it. Sorry, I'm not. I'll send this information to you, Mitch. Unless you've blocked me like everybody else does. And boom. There's the information. All right, I shared it with Mitch. Mark, thank you for that. I will look it over when I can pay a little bit more attention. James keeps messaging. Would you stop messaging me, James? Oh, blue screen of death. Your device has decided that it wants to go to sleep forever. Well, James, what you need to do is you need to reach out to Scott. Mark said I couldn't find him on Twitter. It's he's at Mitch3D. Oh no, he's not. He's at the Mitch. He's at the Mitch 22. That's why you can't find him, because he's not all about the branding. Because I am Fun King 3D everywhere. Yeah, some people like to hide. They don't want to be seen. But it's all good. I sent it over to him, so he's got it. What's the best large format resin printer you guys have used or are aware of? I actually don't know much of anything about resin printers. Like the biggest one that I know of is the and now I can't even think of the name of it. Can't even think of it. But I don't have any experience. I haven't even ever fired up my resin printer because I didn't want to do it in the house, and then it's hot in the garage. But now that I'm out here, I can bring it out here and do it. My brand. But yeah, so I can't. It's the one that everybody was raving about for the long. That's really funny about 3D printing, the 3D printing world, because something will come out and everybody won't be able to stop talking about whatever it is, whatever the new hot thing is. It's the great. And then something else will come out, and all of a sudden, that thing that was the hottest is now the worst pile of garbage ever made. Alan King says the Elegoo Jupiter is big. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I can't. Some days are better than others. My brain just goes mushy sometimes, and then I can't remember things. James says he doesn't think he's going to make it back in. Well, there's only 5 minutes to the end of the stream, but with a blue screen of death, I'm sure that that's not going to go well. It's bugging me that I can't think of the name of that thing. Was it the Frozen? Come on, somebody help me out here. Spoon feed me like you usually do. Pio Poly, the Phenom. That's the one I was trying to think of. The Pio Poly Phenom. I don't even know if that printer's still available, because I think the last time that I seen that, well, Sean had one here, but like the last time I really seen anything about it would have been the last ERF, which was what, 19? Speaking of, are you going to get the LTR screwdriver? No, I've seen a bit of that on the webs and stuff, but no, that's entirely too specialty for me. I got a whole drawer of beautiful, guaranteed forever Tekton screwdrivers. I don't need anybody else's unless they want to send me one for free. I always take stuff for free. For those of you who don't know, it's the Linus Tech Tips screwdriver. Who just got one of those? Somebody in our circle got one, but no, I don't know. I mean, James probably isn't going to make it back in if he's fighting blue screen of death. I can't. The picture that he sent me, I can't blow it up enough to see what the error is, and it's being blocked by his hand making some kind of a gesture. It just says that his device ran into a problem, so that's definitely not good. So I guess at this point, I will say to you, if you haven't yet watched the video over on Fun King Garage that released this past Friday, please do so. Your watches are always super, super appreciated. I am going to try to. There probably be one more Fummins video and then something else. I'm trying to pepper other stuff in it so that it's not the same thing. But the Talon, the Eagle Talon, is definitely going to come in, and I don't know, 2 weeks to the next video. It actually might make it, or it might be the Nissan video. But either which way, if you haven't seen the videos, definitely go and check that out. I'm trying to be a little bit more myself in the new videos. You have to remember the Fummin stuff was recorded prior to. I hadn't really developed my rhythm, so I am trying to be a little bit more just naturally me in the new videos. So you guys will just have to deal with that. Yeah, nothing coming out on the 3D printing channel. I just don't have time. And I really got to put all my effort into the garage channel. The growth over there has got me motivated to the point where I think it might actually, I don't know, work. 500 hours of watch time is pretty significant to me, and When people say, "Oh, you're on YouTube, how many subscribers do you have?" And I proudly say, I'm over 300, and they're like, "Oh," but haven't been doing this for very long. So 312 is a fantastic number to me. And the amount of people that are watching the videos that aren't subscribed blows my mind. But I appreciate everybody watching. And I mean, like, tell your friends, if you got somebody that's interested in cars or, just shop stuff, like, be like, hey, go check out this guy. Stop sending everybody to the big guys and, feed us little, no, just whatever. So otherwise, I don't really have anything to say. You guys got your own little conversation going on in there, but sorry, I was just trying to catch up. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for each and every one of you tuning in. We're at 17 watchers right now, which is pretty fantastic. I'm welcome to join in. Thank you guys for tuning in and for watching. I'm sorry that we had the technical difficulties, and maybe you like it better that way. I don't know. Bleep bleep it down in the comments. No, seriously though, we do appreciate you guys watching. We'll do it again next week. And watch for the thumbnail. It'll be a good one next week. I like to find creepy stuff for the thumbnails. It's fun now, but I don't really have anything else. Thanks for watching. I can't remember. How do I sign out of these? It's all good. Been there, done that. Nope. Until next time, print on.